And one of the phases that you're going to go through is the trying not to try phase. And basically, there's a lot of different phases that you're going to go through as you awakening. One of the phases that you will go through continuously is the what I like to call trying not to try phase. You see, when you started this journey, you had a destination in mind. You want to awaken, you want to enlighten, you want to be free from something, whatever it is that you are quote unquote running from. Whatever pain that you're trying to get rid of, that is your destination. You want to get there. So you started this journey. So of course, by starting this journey, you are trying to get there. So you start to change things up within your life so that you can get to that destination. And one of the phases that you're going to go through is the trying not to try phase. And basically what that is you hear all these teachers and everybody reading these books, and you hear them tell you about letting it be. That's what they say. You just let things be, surrendering. And at first, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to surrender by, meditating for X amount of hours, and I'm not going to try to do this, I'm not going to try and do that. So you're trying not to try to do things. You're doing all of this effort in the beginning because you want to get to that destination. You have to get there. And then once you're not getting the results that you want within the first couple of months or even a couple of years later, you hit this low point or this frustration where you just want to give up. I'm done, I'm going to surrender, like they say, because if I'm meant to wake up, if I'm meant to be free from this, then I just have to let it be. I have to let go, and it will just happen naturally, like everybody says it'll happen naturally, so I'm letting it go. I'm trying not to try. But during that time of surrender, during that time of letting go, your mind is turmoil with the idea that, oh, well, if I don't do this, then I'll never get there. But if I give up this, then I'll still never get there. I'll never reach enlightenment. I have to meditate. How else am I going to be free? So that's the phase that we go through continuously. Because we hit that frustration point and we really just want to surrender because we don't see the results that we want to see, that we're expecting to get from this journey. We started for a reason. We want the results. That's how everything works in our human life. We started this, we want the end. Start, finish line, right? But when we are not getting the results that we want, we go through this phase of trying not to try. We want the end before we even begin. So that's why it makes the journey so much harder on ourselves. And we put in so much effort. We change things about our lives because we want that destination. And when we're not getting it within the first few months or first few weeks for some, we give up. And we give up mentally. We try to give up mentally. But the cycle continues because we know that that's peace. We know we can achieve peace. We still have faith, hope that that result is going to get us the peace that we want. So even as we are letting things be or surrendering, we're still hoping that we'll get the end result if we give up the effort. But it doesn't necessarily work that way. The end result is a story, is a concept, is an idea. It's not real. What you're looking to get to, you already have. So that's why it becomes so frustrating. And then you hear people say that to you, say, well, everything that you want, everything that you need is already within. So now you're sitting in even more frustration because, well, now you thought it was an effort to get there. I had to meditate, I had to do this, I had to read this, and I would get there. That's the concept we kind of develop within the journey. So you develop that concept and you're trying to get there. Then you're not getting the results, so you try the other way. Well, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to let everything be. I'm going to just give up, in a way. Give up the effort. Not give up the dream or the faith of that end destination, but give up the effort to get there. And it's not really giving up the effort, because you are trying not to try. So it's basically you're coming in the back door of trying and not trying to try. So you're doing a double whammy to yourself. Because at first you were trying to get there continuously. And now you're pulling that effort away with another piece of effort. So it's like the double effort to get there. When you believe and you know that the first effort wasn't even necessary, or you are assuming it wasn't necessary. So it's like a double whammy to yourself. And it's extremely frustrating, because you believe that, oh, well, once I surrender, then I will be healed. I will be free. And when that doesn't happen, then you're like, oh, well, you know what? Then I'm going to try again. I'm going to give up this whole surrender and let it be idea, and I'm going to start meditating for this many hours again. I'm going to start reading all these books because they seem interesting and like this person knows what they're talking about. I'm going to start listening to these videos because, that seems like the right teacher for me, and that person will probably wake up the light bulb in my head that needs to be woken up so that I can heal and so that I can get to that end destination. It's enticing. It is very enticing. And when you want it, you want it. When you are so lost and so stuck, and you know that fruit on that tree looks so delicious, you will pretty much do anything. And that phase of trying not to try will happen continuously. It has happened continuously for myself. It has been nonstop. I always used to go back to the idea of surrender. I would start like a week. It would be like a Monday morning, and I'm like, you know what? Today is the day I start my surrender. I am giving it up. I'm just going to let the universe have its way, and whatever happens, happens. That's kind of how I did it multiple times. By Tuesday, I was already meditating for about 30 minutes saying, you know what, I think that this is right. This is me trying not to try. I'm just going to meditate and everything's just gonna fall into place. But it's a continuous phase, and you realize that it's a double whammy to yourself because you're trying not to try. So you're creating this huge contradiction. But you'll learn that awakening, the process of awakening, this whole journey is nothing but contradictions. And this trying not to try phase is continuous. It is one of the biggest contradictions that you will go through. And it'll be in and out, in and out. It's happened for me, and I remember realizing this whole phase the one day, and for me, I wouldn't say that the effort stopped. I would say the attachment to the effort stopped. The effort is there, but it's not so potent because I'm not looking for an end destination as strongly anymore. I wouldn't say that I'm waiting for something to happen. I'm more in this acceptance field of just surrender, just letting things be, truly letting them be. The effort has kind of subsided since I realized that all I'm doing is I'm either trying to get there or I'm trying not to try to get there. In either way, I'm still waiting for that end result. Either way, I'm looking towards something and not letting things be the way they are. Because everything is generally fine once you accept everything as being okay. So I don't really have a way that I came to this conclusion or came to this realization of the trying not to try phase, because it really just happened naturally. Like a lot of realizations will happen naturally to you over time. So even if you're at that point where you are dedicated and trying with all your might right now to get to that destination, that's extremely fine. Even if you are now thinking of surrendering and letting go because you don't want to try not to try, whatever phase that you're going through, whatever concept that you're thinking of is fine. However you want to get there is fine. We all have this hope and this thought of what there looks like, what there will be like, and however we want to get there will be fine. But something that you will go through is the whole idea of surrender, the whole trying to surrender. Just let go. Just let it go. Just got it. It's extremely hard. It really is. You're going to be frustrated because you're pulling strings back and forth within yourself. You're trying at one point, and then you're trying not to try at one point. So it's a back and forth game until effort kind of just subsides and that true acceptance sets in, which isn't an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to happen. I wouldn't say do, because you really can't just go out and do. It'll just happen naturally when it's meant to happen naturally. So whatever phase that you're in, be with that. Be with that phase.